Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Hunter, and I work in the Policy Office at the National Science Foundation. It is my pleasure to welcome you today to the Spring 2021 NSF Virtual Grants Conference. I'm now pleased to present this session, which will cover the Director for Mathematical and Physical Sciences. This session will be presented by Dr. Leonard Spinu. Dr. Spinu.
Hello, I'm glad to give this presentation at NSF Virtual Grants Conference this year with an overview of Mathematical and Physical Sciences Directorate. I'm Leonard Spinu. I'm a Program Director in Division of Materials Research, working in National Facility Instrumentation Program within the Directorate of Mathematical and Physical Sciences. NSF was established on May 10, 1950 by Congress through the National Science Foundation Act of 1950. So it's 71 years old already this month. And NSF mission is to promote the progress of science, advance the national health, prosperity, and welfare, and security and the national defense. And NSF envisions a nation that capitalizes on new concepts in science and engineering and provides global leadership on advancing research and education. In this slide with the NSF organization chart, we see where Mathematical and Physical Sciences Directorate is located along the other directorates in the foundation. And from the budget numbers shown below on this chart, we can see that MPS is one of the largest directorate in the foundation. And also on this slide, we have information of other units of the foundation. Now, with the directorate on this slide, we have information regarding the components of the MPS Directorate with the 5 divisions: Division of Astronomical Sciences, Division of Chemistry, Division of Materials Research, the division that I'm associated with, Division of Mathematical Sciences, and Division of Physics. And the mission of MPS is to harness the collective efforts of mathematical and physical sciences communities to address the most compelling scientific questions and, of course, to educate the future advanced workforce and promote discoveries to meet the needs of the nation. And the MPS division support both disciplinary activities within their division, but also interdisciplinary activities that partner within the MPS Directorate, but also with other NSF directorates. On these slides, we see that actually MPS Directorate plays an important role in supporting academic basic research. For example, from the total federal support, MPS accounts for about 60% of support on mathematics and 44% support of physical sciences. Here, there are some information regarding the budget of MPS along the last few years. And you see that the budget remained overall close to about 1.5 billion of dollars. Now, what is the result of this funding within MPS? It's about support for about 9,000 we have 9,000 actions that results in about 2,000 awards each year, which correspond to a funding rate about 20-25% across the several past few years. The MPS science comes through these 5 divisions, but also there are NSF-wide and other directorate programs that actually are of interest of MPS proposers. And here are just a few of them. And in the next few slides, but also on the other presentation during this NSF Grants Conference, you can learn more. And also during the live session, we'd be happy to provide additional information that you may have regarding specific programs. In 2016, the National Science Foundation unveiled a set of big ideas, which are 10 bold, long-term research and process ideas that identify areas for future investment at the frontier of science and engineering. And in this slide show these research ideas on the top and also the process ideas. And MPS is the steward for the quantum leap big ideas and also of the windows on the universe, but also is an important participant on a few others with ideas like harnessing the data revolution, mid-scale research infrastructures, or understanding the rules of life. And here we give some examples of areas that map those 4 big ideas. And during this presentation, but also, as I mentioned, during the NSF Grants Conference, we're going to give more details about each of these scientific opportunities, including this opportunity on the tripods and giving information of the results from the last competition. One important program associated with the Harnessing Data Revolution big idea is this Computational and Data-Enabled Science and Engineering, or CDS&E, which is a cross-directorate program involving MPS Engineering and Science Directorate. And it was designed to identify and capitalize on opportunities for major scientific and engineering breakthroughs through new computational and data analysis approaches. The CDS&E is a meta program that is submitted through the pre-existing funding opportunities. And here are given details on the latest announcement of this program. Another important program is Designing Materials to Revolutionize and Engineer Our Future, or DEMREF. DEMREF is the primary program by which NSF participates in the Materials Genome Initiatives, or MGI. And MGI recognizes the importance of material science and engineering to the well-being and advancement of society, and aims to deploy advanced materials at least twice as fast as possible today at a fraction of the cost. And as a result, DEMREF is supporting activities that significantly accelerate materials discovery and development by building the fundamental base needed to advance the design and development of materials with desirable properties or functionality. This is accomplished by forming an interdisciplinary team of researchers that work synergistically in a closed loop, as shown in this chart here, involving synthesis, experiment, and theory, and leveraging data science and providing ready access to materials data and educating the future MGI workforce. More information about this program can be found using the solicitation that is active this year, and the number of the solicitations given on this slide. The solicitation give also ideas for the future competition. The current competition is already underway this year that started in January. An important aspect on the MPS is the broadening participation. There are several opportunities, and one important opportunity is the NSF Alliance for Graduate Education and the Professorate program that contributes to the National Science Foundation objectives to foster the growth of a more capable and diverse research workforce. And this opportunity allows support for one additional PhD student per award. And there are some graduate student eligibility information and emphasis placed on underrepresented groups that students are not supported by federal government. And this opportunity provides stipend, tuition, and benefits up to $60,000. And this Dear Colleague letter with information provided on the slides, where you can find more information. And also during the live session, we'll be happy to answer any of your questions regarding this opportunity. Another MPS opportunity for the broadening participation is the new investigator workshop. And this is addressed to new researcher, assistant professor, and exceptional postdocs that consider a career, academic careers. And investigators from underrepresented groups in STEM are especially encouraged to apply. This slide shows a nice picture with the participants of the latest workshop that was held on site on 2019. We had the MPS workshop for new investigators on 2020, but was held remotely in November. And the new workshop is scheduled for October later this year. Another wide program at NSF is the career program that probably most of you are familiar with. And this slide just gives information what this is related to the MPS. And I think the most important message showing on these slides is that MPS plays a big role on the career program with about 30% of the proposers and awards typically every year. And one important aspect to bear in mind for the career program is that it's not intended as a main mechanism to fund new assistant professor, and it's not also a research excellence prize. But the important aspect is that you need to have a plan for integration of research and education within the context of and the mission of your institution. And more information about this program can be found on other presentations during this NSF Grants Conference. Regarding the supporting the research at primarily undergraduate institution, we have a RU program, and one important aspect to mention here is that there is no single foundation-wide deadline for research undergraduate institution proposal, and this is related more to the programs at individual divisions. And more information about this RU opportunity can be found following the solicitation, but also contacted individual divisions and programs. And this will be the last slide. So, general information regarding the MPS Directorate, Mathematical and Physical Sciences. And the message here is that you can find interesting information, statistics, and mission statements following the Mathematical and Physical Sciences Directorate brochure, and the information how this can be accessed online can be found on this slide. And I hope you'll find the time and consult this. It's a really nice brochure with important information. Right now, I'll present a few specific information for each individual division within the MPS, going in alphabetical order, starting with Division of Astronomy. And these were information that are provided by my colleagues within the MPS Directorate. And if there are any further questions, we'll be able to answer them during the live session, but also I encourage you to probably contact my colleagues in the individual divisions. These slides give an overview of astronomy programs. On this slide, we see using this color coding, what is their proportion within the overall budget on these slides. And we have here on the right-hand side funding for different facilities that are provided by Division of Astronomy. And you see it's an important component of the astronomy budget. But also we have individual investigator programs here, referring to astronomy and astrophysics research grants, solar and planetary research grants, and of course, early career program and the program for postdocs on astronomy. And another important component on the Division of Astronomy are the technology and instrumentation program through the MRI or B-scale programs, but also education and special programs. And the individual investigator programs, they have an annual window, and as mentioned here, the annual window for submission runs from October 1st to November 15, and there are different astronomy and astrophysics related research programs. And these programs provide research grants for observational, theoretical, lab, and archival data studies in all areas of astrophysics. Also, an important aspect for individual investigator programs is that the typical awards are about for 3 years, with the typical budget about $450,000 total. And the award is made to an institution, and the usual budget is used to support salary for graduate students and postdocs, or faculty summer. And these are also important aspect that this proposal that are solely or mainly for the acquisition, analysis, and interpretation of space-based data from NASA-supported mission are not considered by Astronomy Division at NSF. Regarding the Astronomy Division funding history, we have this information in the slides where we can see that from 2000 to 2008, the funding almost doubled, but the funding rate went somehow lower. And since then, since 2008, actually remained about the same. And we have also information about this funding rate on this chart, on this slide. With this, we'll show here some of the astronomy facilities, which are spread all over the world with ALMA, or Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array Observatory in Chile, or Vera Rubin Observatory in Chile, on Gemini, the partnership that operates two 8-meter telescopes, one in Northern Hemisphere in Hawaii and one in the Southern Hemisphere in Chile as well. And also the Daniel K. Unio Solar Telescope, or DQIST, which is currently nearing the end of construction on the summit of Haleakala, Maui, Hawaii. With this, we go to Division of Chemistry, and we have a similar chart regarding the budget and the focus of Division of Chemistry. We see in this chart here, this pie chart, that actually the proportion of the funding is a little bit different comparing to that on Division of Astronomy. That was focused more on the facility support. In the case of Division of Chemistry, the majority of the budget goes towards funding individual investigators and small groups. There are information regarding different programs here, and we are considered 8 major programs area. I'm not going to go over all of them individually, but here are information about each of them here. And of course, there are career awards that may be submitted through each of these programs. And Division of Chemistry is involved in collaboration with other NSF divisions or other external agencies and departments. One important aspect for individual award program in chemistry. So here are information regarding the submission window for each of the program. And you see that this submission window, it's, for example, for chemical synthesis runs from September 1st to September 30, and for chemical structure, dynamics, and mechanics from September 1st, September 30 as well. And we see that we have the same submission window for theory, models, and computational methods program in the Division of Chemistry. And for chemical measurement imaging, the submission window is a little bit later, October 1st to November 1st. For chemical catalysts, the same submission window from September 1st, September 30, and information for environmental chemical sciences with the submission window as well. So we have also information about 2 other programs with their submission window and a synopsis of what type of research they have focus. The message here is that if you have a research idea and you like to submit a proposal, to contact the program director associated with one of the programs and take into account the submission window. And the message is just ask early and send a message to cognizant program director. In Division of Chemistry, also has integrative chemistry activities program, and this has support for centers for chemical innovation, and these are a larger team of researchers, and we have support for major research instrumentation through the NSF-wide program, Major Research Instrumentation, MRI. And of course, it's a program about research experience for undergraduate, or REU, that offers support for undergraduate students to be embedded in research groups and have this experience for research. Here we have some information regarding the chemical centers for innovation, and there are some information for the latest awards during this, which are pertinent to this program. And here some information regarding the RU sites and projects with information about the solicitation, when the proposal is due, in this case in August. And the message is to contact the program directors with more information about the submission, eligibility, and other questions may have regarding these opportunities. As mentioned, major research instrumentation, it's an NSF-wide program, and which is focused on the acquisition of major state-of-the-art instrumentation. And the current solicitation, it's the one mentioned on the bottom of this screen here. And typically the proposals are received during a submission window in January. And currently right now it's a competition underway. Another aspect for chemistry funding referred to chemistry sponsor facility. And here are information about the chemistry sponsor facility that are shown. And we have here chemistry is contributing for the support of ion cyclotron resonance facility at High Magnetic Field Laboratory. And also chemistry supporting the operation of a beam lines at Advanced Photon Source, or CHEMAT CARS, is the 3 experimental station at APS. And chemistry is carrying out an entire range of activities with career workshop to introduce early career faculty to an NSF career program. And also chemistry has an interesting website with a quarterly newsletter and a newsletter with important information about the funding opportunities associated with Division of Chemistry. Now we go to the Division of Materials Research, and the division that I'm associated with. And similarly, we have a chart with DMR activities, and this is represented here on the focus of topical materials research program with different programs associated with different types of materials like biomaterials, ceramics, polymers, condensed matter materials theory program, and so forth. And also we have important activity geared towards supporting a larger team of researchers, like centers and teams. And the flagship center program in DMR is the Materials Research Science Engineering Center, or MARSEC. And also an important program for broader participation in STEM fields in partnership in research and education materials, or PREM, and designing materials to revolutionize engineer our future, or DEMREF, that we mentioned earlier on. An important activity carried out in DMR is associated with the National Facility and Instrumentation, and DMR is supporting the operation of several facilities, and here are listed the facility Center for High Energy X-ray Sciences at Chess at Cornell University, National High Magnetic Field Laboratory, Center for High Resolution Neutron Scattering, or CHERNS, and DMR is partner in the National Nanotechnology Coordination Network, or NNCI. And also DMR has started a new program on Materials Innovation Platform, or MIP, and I'm going to give some information in the next few slides. How these activities are represented in the budget in DMR, we see that the Topical Materials Research Program and the DEMREF covers about 40% of the DMR budget. And then we have the MARSEC and the PREM program about 20%, while the National Facilities and Instrumentation get about another 18-19%. Significant amount of the DMR budget goes to the career program, and also are listed other activities that are also represented in the budget. Regarding DMR facilities and instrumentation, here are some information regarding those facilities. Here shown an aerial view of the Center for High Energy X-ray Sciences at Chess, where it's showing the accelerator and actually where here the X-ray are produced, and the scientists from all over the world can come and carry their science and need for synchrotron X-ray. Also, DMR is supporting, as I mentioned, a user program at the Center for High Resolution Neutron Scattering at NIST, and is a part of the National Nanotechnology Coordinating Infrastructure. And as I mentioned, the DMR support for the National High Magnetic Field Laboratory. While talking in Division of Chemistry, mentioned about the MRI program. DMR also is an important player on the NSF-wide Major Research Instrumentation Program. The current competition, as mentioned, started in January 2021 and is currently underway. It's a very important program to support the acquisition or development of new instrumentation, and the awards are up to $4 million for development or acquisition of the instrumentation. And important aspect is the fact that this program requires a cost sharing for the PhD granting institution, and this cost sharing is 30%. Again, the current solicitation provides information of the MRI competition. I suggest to follow up NSF website. This solicitation may change, so you may want to make sure that you have access to the latest information regarding MRI, but also other programs. We talk about the Designing Materials to Revolutionize and Engineer Our Future program, or DEMREF. It's a major program in DMR, and we mentioned that it's an important program at MPS level. And we mentioned that it's the program by which NSF participates in MGI. And in the chart here at the bottom of the slide, we show what are other divisions that are contributing and are active in the DMR program. We see that besides DMR, that actually is important contribution here. We have the CMMI division in engineering, and also ECCS division in engineering as well. So it's an important program, not only in the MPS, but also across the foundation. Quantum leap, it's a big idea that MPS it's leading the effort. And here showing some information about the DMR involvement in quantum leap. And DMR has significant investment in quantum leap, and either through different programs, but also through different educational and outreach support activities. And here give examples about quantum leap, NSF DOE summer school in quantum science that it took place in the last few years. And also another aspect for the quantum leap activity that is supported in DMR refers to the quantum QMACE program, quantum foundry, and here give information about one of the awards that was started recently, funded through this activity. With this, we go to Division of Mathematical Sciences. And here we have information with support that the Mathematical Sciences Division provides, especially to individual investigators. About 3/4 of the DMS division goes in this direction, whereas 15% goes to support of mathematical science institutes. And also important aspect is devoted to the workforce training for the next generation of researchers. In the case of DMS, there are 8 program areas. These are shown here along their disciplines, and depending of the discipline, there are all these programs, and they cover this disciplinary, but also other interdisciplinary areas by collaborating across the division within the MPS, but also partnering with other NSF division and directorates, government agency and foundations. And it's just an example of interdisciplinary DMS major investment areas. And we'd be happy to answer any question you may have regarding any of this. Division of Physics is represented here, and this slide show that in the case of Physics Division, it's a broad, rich, and diverse research portfolio that covers a wide spectrum of phase parameters, so to speak. We're going from hot to cold, from large to small, from non-living to living, and from new to old topics. And this is shown that these slides, the support going through either facilities that includes Large Hadron Collider, IceCube, LIGO, or NSCL. And also there are programs that are experimental programs or theory programs, and or also cross-cutting programs that go across the boundary of one discipline. And in the case of Division of Physics, the individual investigator awards are about 50% from the budget, while the research infrastructure towards the facilities covers about 41%, and central institutes a good portion, and also the education program as well. Among the physics major facility here, we have information regarding the IceCube located at the South Pole, or Large Hadron Collider as a part of the international collaboration at CERN, or the LIGO that you probably heard about it, that was instrumental in the discovery of the gravitational waves recently. In the case of investigator-initiated research projects, it's a solicitation, and there are full proposal deadlines that are given here, and there are different deadlines depending on each program. So it's very important to make sure that you consult all this information before planning to apply to a particular program. And with this, we kind of cover all the particular information for each of the division. And I have this last slide that summarize the contact information of the deputy division directors for each of the division, where you can have their email contact, and you can target your questions. And the take-home message is just ask early, ask often, and be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Spanu. Okay, everyone, we're opening up for questions. I see a few in the Q&A feature, so I'm going to read some of those off at this point. And if you have more, please go ahead and fill it in. This is meant to be an interactive session, so we definitely look forward to having your questions pop in. So Dr. Spanu, we'll start with one. Will the LEAP MPS program be renewed next year? And is it expected to become an annual solicitation?
So at this point, I don't have, hello, everybody. At this point, I don't have a clear answer for these questions. However, I will say that for every program that is announced, it's a 90 days period that solicitation is announced before the submission of the proposal for that program. So I would advise to look on the solicitation, and I would be happy to respond also offline. But at this point, I don't have an answer to announce about this question.
Okay. Is it possible to work with engineering and MPS, for example, physics and CBET?
Yeah, for sure. There are programs that actually in their solicitation, they have built in this interdisciplinarity, and actually are across the foundation several programs where actually the different directorates and even programs within the same directorate or different directorates, they work together. So it depends on the program and the project. A short answer, yes, obviously, but of course, it depends on the program.
Okay, let's ask this one. It was stated in a previous presentation that anticipated increases will result in larger grants, but not higher success rates. Is this correct? If so, can you comment on the rationale behind this strategy?
I'm not sure, and if this is across the board is true. I would say again that it depends on the program, and with the higher, for example, funding, some programs may have different strategies how they actually make that program work in the future. But it's not a one size fits all across the foundation.
Yes, and that is correct. Sometimes it is just depending on the portfolio. They may be programs may be looking for larger grants. It's not, as he said, a one size fits all. It just depends on the particular portfolio. Some have increased funding and want to, hope to have a greater success rate, but one isn't dependent on the other. So, okay, what is a typical waiting time for the result on the research outline concept or ROC?
I'm not sure what exactly it's in front of this question. What I advise, if you can send me the question with more information and background information about that, I'd be happy to answer offline. So at this point, I don't have an answer about this. So I'm not sure exactly what is the question.
Okay. Are there specific initiatives to promote enhancements in physical science education, especially to develop new interdisciplinary curricula, and some that encourage retention from underrepresented communities?
So there are a few, should you promote enhancement? There are a few programs that actually they are focused on the broadened participation, and actually some of them they are presented in the presentation. I don't have right now, from the top of my head, a clear example that can answer this, but also not only in MPS, but also in the division of undergraduate education, but also in division of the graduate education. There are programs that actually have this focus on retention. I think that during the presentation, we referred to AGAP, and these were some examples, yes.
It's really exciting to see the re-entry to active research program expand to all chemistry programs after launching a CBET. Any plans to expand this program across MPS?
I don't have this information at this point, and I will be happy to give more details and to contact my colleagues in MPS that may have a clear answer. But at this point, I don't have an answer for this.
Okay, keep the questions coming, please. Okay, let's see. If I'm in the physics department, I can of course still write for CBET programs. Would I likely not be funded?
No, I don't think it's a rule, or it's your affiliation with the particular department. They will actually fix where you're supposed to send your research project. I think that what is the research area, this research project, and it's independent on what is your home institution and affiliation with the respective department. So we have, for example, in the Division of Materials Research, awards going to projects that are submitted by physicists, chemists, material scientists, engineers, and biologists, and so forth. So it's just the science that carries where the research project should be submitted.
What do you anticipate the MPS funding rate will be for 2021, 22, 23? What is your plan?
I don't know how to answer. And also the funding rate is varied with the programs. Yeah. I can say that typically we have a funding rate about, say, 20% across the foundation, but there are, for example, more competitive programs that actually that funding rate may be actually lower than that, or you have other programs that actually the funding rate may be higher than that. So it depends on the program, and it depends, of course, the the fiscal situation and that particular junction. So, and to project this for several years, it's even more difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Does DMR have one or several submission windows? When would they be?
So there are certain programs in DMR that they have no submission windows, and there are programs in DMR, they have submission windows. And I'm not sure if this question refers to the previous format, where it was the October general submission window for topical materials research program, or this is refers to the fact that there are some programs where you have no submission windows and the proposal can be submitted during, all year. However, it's encouraged that to have certain periods in such a way that each program may want to cluster proposal on a certain area, and they probably program director, they get encouraged to submit, let's say, by March or so forth. But I hope I was able to answer the question. And I think that the best way to go is to contact the program director and for each program, because it's not the same situation across all programs in DMR.
Okay, keep the questions coming. I do have one question that was submitted previously. Does MPS have plans to join the Mid-Career Advancement Program, which is NSF 21-516?
Yeah, so there are discussion on how MPS could possibly join the Mid-Career Advancement Program. And I would just say stay tuned and be on look for some changes solicitation and how MPS potentially going to join this.
That's it for the questions I see listed here and were submitted previously. So if we sparked any more questions, please go ahead and submit them. We're here for you. So ask early, ask often. Now's your stage. So throw them our way. No, anything you'd like to add, Dr. Spinu, as we wait for people to type away?
Yes, thank you. I think that the most important message is that the program directors are available to be contacted, and actually we are here to answer your questions. So don't hesitate to contact us. And if you are not sure if a research project may fit in a program, you may send an email to a program director, and for sure you're going to get an answer saying that, well, it may fit the program, it may not fit the program. I think this is very important. I can't speak for my own experience. When I was a researcher and a faculty at the beginning, a young faculty, and actually being in a tenure track position, and they have the tenure clock ticking, and I was not sure if, can I contact the program director or not. For sure you can, and actually this is the most advisable, this is the best advice I can give. Contact and ask questions, and this will save you, for example, to submit a proposal to a program that actually may not be the best fit. And I can say that I made this mistake, and it took me actually 2 cycles to find out that actually the best program for my research was in a different actually division. And that's why I think that it saves you a lot of time, and also will help you a lot on pushing your research projects.
Okay, we have a question just came in. For early career researchers without a track record of funding, are there any particular tips you have?
Everybody should start somewhere. And as I mentioned before, one important thing that actually at your home institution may have your colleagues that actually they can mentor you. And but the track record is established in time, and start to contact a program director, and you can send a short synopsis. Some program directors, they like the so-called white paper. White paper is the summary of the research area I would like to pursue, and be a question with would your program accept proposal in this area? And you may get, answer yes, sure, and encourage you to submit, or may direct you in a different direction. NSF provides funding for fundamental research in all research area except in the medical field. So for sure, there's going to be a program at National Science Foundation that can be a home for your research and great ideas you have. So contact the program directors. This I can say it again and like emphasis that this is very, very important.
Okay. Another, let's see, is the new Invest workshop for those who are funded?
I'm not sure.
New Invest workshop.
I don't know. I'll try to see the question here. I don't see it, and I don't know. So I would suggest if you can follow up with send an email with some background information, and we can follow up after this.
Okay. And how would you describe a good track record? The statement, good track record.
Good track record is a follow-up question for the previous one. Good track record. When you have a research project, you like to convey the idea that actually that research area is important, and that can be conveyed through, let's say, research papers that are peer review, and actually it's place a judgment on the quality of the importance of that research area. So that can be by the research and publication that are associated with that research area. Also, it can be a good track record of education. Another important aspect at National Science Foundation is the education, and actually what are the activity in terms of workforce development, education, and broader participation, and also that can be associated with the broader impact of that particular research area. And this will be things, and it's not just like a checkbox, but this will be some of the areas that actually can convey a message that that research project is well supported by data, by papers in the area, and that actually form what you call a track record.
Okay, and we have a clarification for the question asked previously. Is the new investigator workshop for those who have been funded, the new investigator workshop? If the workshop was funded or not? Is it for those who are funded, for those who have already received funding? Oh, I understand.
Obviously, there's going to be a preference for those that actually they were not already have probably a track record at NSF, and they would like to actually to advance that. And all the time, we unfortunately get more requests for attendees than actually spots are available. It can be a good thing about a virtually organized workshop is that in this case, more attendee can be accommodated in the virtual environment. And actually, I would say that if you have interest, just to apply, and for sure, depending of what will be at that time the situation in terms of how many requests and how many spots available will be a decision. But definitely, I'll encourage to apply. Yes. Okay. All the time we have things we can learn. So even, for example, after so many years that you may have research funded by NSF, you're still learning things. So it's important. Okay.
Is there an RUI component for instrumentation development for use with undergraduate students and undergraduate research, especially a track to help develop shared facilities and instruments that might be used by primarily undergraduate institutions and historically Black colleges and universities or Hispanic serving institutions?
So in terms of instrumentation and the shared facility, a well-known program is the Major Research Instrumentation Program, MRI. And already the NSF has an important investment in the MRI program. And actually, within the MRI program, there are special funds that are assigned to a proposal coming from minority serving institution, and also primarily undergraduate institution. So I would say that the answer is yes, and actually MRI is one important program in this area.
Okay. Will the program managers help transfer proposals to another appropriate program if it was not submitted to the correct program in the first place?
The short answer, yes. So you have a proposal, it's coming to your program, and at a certain point you realize that actually maybe another colleague in a different program may benefit, for example, because the research are connected. So it can be as simple as like a discussion between two program directors in the same division. If you have, for example, a program that actually is not probably connected, then maybe probably find another division. Now, give an example. We have, let's say, a major research instrumentation program, which is an NSF-wide program. And one instrumentation request, let's say, sent in Division of Materials Research. But the research area may be more, for example, appropriate for, let's say, physics division. Then we, all the time, have the proposal transferred to the appropriate division. So this is happening, yes. Now, what may happen if we have a solicitation with specific criteria, and actually we have a proposal that don't answer the solicitation for that particular program, then in this case, it's not possible to transfer that proposal because the proposal was submitted to a specific program and actually may not have a correspondent to another division. But when you have an NSF-wide program and it's not clear which division is finally transferred internally to the appropriate division.
Okay. Does MPS balance the distribution of awarded projects between early researchers and established researchers?
I don't think it's a formula. It's not a magic formula. And it's just depends on the division, and within division, the directorate. And actually, not all programs in the same division operate in the same way, as at the same time, not all divisions operate at the same time. So we can see both ends of this equation, new and career scientists and also well-established researcher, but it's not a choice like having 10% of this or 90% on that or the other way around. So it's not an answer question, and I think that what carries the success of a program is the science and the fit with the specific program.
Okay, we have time, I believe, for one more, and I will go with this one. What would you say are the 5 biggest mistakes PIs make in their early career proposals?
I would say that when you start late, and actually when you start late, and it's a procrastination, and it's submitted actually the very last day, that submission is prone to just simple errors like the way the document is presented. And actually, when somebody needs to review a proposal that is clearly showing that a lack of attention to the details, that may not fare very well and get funded. So come back to the same message, ask often, ask early, and actually try to contact as many programs that we are not sure. And if, let's say, for some reason, you may be a delay in getting an answer, try to make a phone call. And even, for example, in this environment where we are working remotely, we are contacted by email, but also by phone. Every program director has a phone. And actually, you can leave a message, and a message left actually for sure going to be actually taken and actually going to get an answer. Yeah, so ask early, ask often, and don't procrastinate.
Okay, so that wraps that one up for the questions. If you have more questions, I know we didn't in the end. I appreciate that you all started jumping these questions in. As Dr. Spanu has said, if you have more questions, send an email, make a phone call, reach out and ask whatever questions you may have. Some that may not have come to mind just yet. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day.